Welcome everyone to the Crypto Kingdom and Bitcoin Spike. We have a great show, guys. We are nailing it. I want to talk about real quickly. I want to talk about a new VIP. Let's talk about this real quickly, guys. Someone turned their account from 8,000 into 13,300 in 1 day. This is for Freddie Hidalgo. Shout out to you, Freddie. We are so excited that you joined a VIP. He said he could pay for VIP for years now. Guys, people wait months for that to happen. We're so excited to be able to bring you this content and just to, guys, to resurface or to reframe the whole issue. Guys, we're so excited about Bitcoin. We cannot believe the gains you've had in Bitcoin. Your altcoins are flying off the roof. I was so excited yesterday. I went ahead and told you guys, you know this. I said, we're still in the green. Did I not? I said that to you guys. Some people just tuned out. They didn't want to see the chop. And they didn't want to see the indicators. I'm like, guys, we're still in the green. And bam, you guys saw that. Huge gains in Ethereum, in Bitcoin, and everything just wham. So this is the place you come to for the accurate information. Some of you like to tune in and tune out and decide if you like or not. If you don't like profits and being told, guys, that we're in the green, okay, no one else is just telling you right and left, top and bottom. Guys, I'm telling you, we are hitting it. We're killing it. I'm so excited for the new VIP, guys. If you are not joined yet, we are on to, what is it, Cardano Bull, ADA Bull. How about 50% today in Cardano? How about 50% in some different bull coins we're trading that are not options? Guys, huge gains. I have to tell you, they're huge gains. So we're involved down in the back rooms. Guys, you understand the VIP has a lot of perks, and it is paying off. We are so excited. In addition, guys, let's just measure out Bitcoin. Yeah, everyone loves what's going on right now. Are we at 60+% on Bitcoin? Phenomenal, guys. Just unreal in terms of the price action. Under 30,000 currently to 47,000, guys. 47,525. We're so excited about your gains. I'm so excited you guys are making money. I know you guys want to analyze what's going on right now. I have some deep analytics in terms of what's going on. I want to shout out to Jay Suave. I want to say hello, Jay. How are you? Why? Because Jay is former, he's BlackRock, JP Morgan. I juggle it around where he's from. VIP, extremely smart, intelligent individual. He remembered something very important today that I had covered previously. I want to talk about it. It's very important in terms of the technicals. Jay's going to bring it up. He's probably like, I know London's thinking about this. He's just not mentioning it. Yeah, you're right. You're right. I'm going to give it to you, Jay. You got me on that. Let's talk about currently where we've hitched at, guys. Very important point right here. Very important point. Plug in, tune in. Do not miss this point right here where we've hitched. Don't miss it. Jay didn't miss it. BlackRock, JP Morgan, powerhouse of an analyst in the back. VIP. He's awesome. He is awesome, guys. In terms of this line, what is this line? Jay remembers the streams. Jay pays attention. Jay sometimes books 8 to 10 out of 10 trades, 9 out of 10 trades. Yeah, he knows exactly what's going on. So as we look at this line here, let's look at this. Darlene, it's so nice to have you. Still nicely reading. You are studying. Very good. You're going to get all this stuff. As we look at this line, please project these 2 points on your chart. I want you to line up on the daily with this expanding wedge formation, which is in contradiction to the overall. I'm going to talk about that expanding wedge because we covered it in depth beforehand. I took someone, I kept waiting. Someone's going to bring that up to me, guys. Someone's going to bring it up. Jay brought it up. I was like, Jay would bring that up, wouldn't he? Absolutely. I'm excited. I wait sometimes to see if anyone's going to bring something up. I'm really excited that he did. Let's go over this continuation pattern that we have and see which is going to win. This is going to be a little battle we have between this is a nice little battle, isn't it? If you guys know your technicals, this is a war right now, a little bitty battle. Let's just call it a battle, not a war. Okay, in terms of this, looking at the falling wedge, you guys know we were the first to call that on the monthly. Absolutely. Worked out beautifully. Beautiful save by the Bitcoin powerhouse crew. I'll call that with Elon, with Tesla, with everybody, with all you guys. I also want to talk about the nature of the constriction here and how I think we can take a lot of credit for this, guys. This is a nice nature of the constriction of this upward channel now. Currently at, where are we at? 47,540. Hit that like button if you just shown up, guys. Let me know you've just shown up. I'll cover some pricing targets, different things from the very beginning that we talked about. But what we're looking at right now is a very interesting moment, a very, very interesting moment for Bitcoin. Please pay attention, guys. Look, this falling wedge, okay, a bullish continuation pattern. By the book, guys, bullish continuation pattern is supposed to break to the upside, correct? Yes, it is. Now, we have somewhat in contradiction there too. Okay, somewhat in contradiction there too, we have what I'm going to outline in red so that we will not miss it. I want everyone to see it. Okay, it is that type of a formation. I want everyone to see it in red. I'm going to give another shout out to Jay Suave, former JP Morgan and BlackRock, one of the best, chartists we have, one of the best traders we have. Jay brought back up to my attention, London, didn't you mention the expanding wedge in the beginning? And aren't we at the top of this expanding wedge? Let me go ahead and pull this back to a normalized, we'll put this in dotted. There we go. And I certainly said, yes, I did. Absolutely. Now, let me take away this expansion. There we go there. Now, in terms of this expanding wedge, which is in contradiction to, guys, in contradiction to the falling wedge, represents a very interesting dynamic for us. Okay, there is a tug of war going on right now in terms of the chart patterns. As you look at the continuation, the wedge that's supposed to continue to the upside, correct? And this falling wedge, I'm saying the falling wedge, this expanding wedge, two wedges. The falling wedge, bullish. The expanding wedge is supposed to be bearish. I want you to know it's supposed to be bearish. Jay knew that. He brought it to my attention because he knows the way this is supposed to work out. Okay, supposed to work out. And we're going to talk about one thing when I talk about before it's supposed to work out bearish. I want to bring up a few different important facets here. Let's talk about, let me pull up a polyline. Where's my scuba mask? I always ask for that. There it is, polyline. Okay, polyline is the one that allows you to draw multiple instances. Let's go ahead and make this a little bit more strengthened, okay? So excited yesterday, guys. I told you we're in the green zone, and bam, Bitcoin went up 7%. Everybody's like, well, okay, we're in the green zone. When I say we're in the green zone, guys, we're in a green zone, all right? So today we're going to talk about the falling wedge as opposed to the expanding wedge here. These lines clearly indicated, hold on, let me take care of that. These lines, I know some people are tuning in. Am I in drawing mode? If I'm in drawing mode, no, I'm not good. These lines here, okay, on the red, okay, are clearly indicated. I have them expanding out so you know that I drew them exactly, guys, exactly like magnetized. I used the magnet and I exactly drew those exactly out. So I want you to know that those are proper. I wanted to start there so that you knew that those are consistent lines. I always get the magnet, I zoom in, I pop two I hit two pivots, okay? Then I extend the lines. That's my technique. If you need to review that, guys, I hit two peaks, then I extend the line. That assures me, as I go back to this, that assures me that my lines are correct when they're extended, right? Absolutely. That's a great technique for you guys to use in terms of that. It's highly important that you guys get those lines accurate. I mean, 100% as we look at this current hitch that we hit. And guys, a lot of people are looking at this line right now, okay? It's just because of the pattern indication of what it essentially, guys, what it communicates to the community in terms of it being a bearish scenario. I'm just going to hold on just a scenario right now. I'm going to discuss why this is just a scenario and why I'm relying on the wedge formation more, okay? I'm relying on the wedge formation more, this bullish continuation pattern more so than I am on this expanding wedge, okay? The expanding wedge, if you guys look at the textbook formation, or the textbook call out on this type of an expanding wedge would be a bearish indicator, and we would be supposed to break down from here and fulfill a downward trajectory. That would be indicated on almost everything you see, okay? On almost everything you see. There is a nuance, okay? The nuance is going to contain the fact of whether or not we're in a bullish or a bearish scenario, okay? If you look at that expanding wedge, it's going to indicate whether or not we're in a bullish or a bearish scenario. So whereas on the micro, guys, on a micro level, then go ahead and just understand this. I think this will advance your learning here. It's not the quick answer you want right now. You got that last night, and you got 7% on Bitcoin and a ton on your altcoins. We hit 50%, guys, 50% on a few different items. It was very exciting the last 24 hours. Very excited you guys are making money. Let us know if you're making money, if you're doing well. Let us know, guys. We would love to know that. So in terms of that, if we were dealing with a smaller formation, if we were dealing with something that looked a little bit more like this, let me go ahead and make these a little bit more prominent so that you can see them. If we were dealing with something a little bit more in line with, I'd say, a little bit more of a macro move, Okay, I would say that I would go with that, right? I would go with this, this original move that we did continue down with. This was my original wedge in here. Now the line does continue, guys. The line continues, and we're right on the line. Okay, so this, however, the micro, I would say yes, we have spilled down from that. I already divorced, I'd say, kind of separated out this hitch in here into a different formation wherein we were operating at a level within this zone, and then we did drop out into a further zone indicated by this I'd say the falling wedge completed that very well. We definitely completed the bottom zone. So given the fact that we have recompleted this much and there's a bit of variance in this level, which troubles me. I don't like to pick up and hitch into something uncleanly like this if we were to use that degree of an expanding wedge and give it that much of I'd say that much of a credibility when we're making a big decision like this as to whether or not we're bearish or bullish on the market. Okay, the fact that we so prominently jettisoned up here, that we have so prominently recaptured this degree of price, is weighing heavily in my decision, as well as the micro versus kind of a macro approach with the differentiation in here. It's going to get more credit in my book right now. Not building into fundamentals to that on a purely technical, and I mean fundamentals in terms of market fundamentals, in terms of Bitcoin adoption, things like that, the news. Now, I am building the fundamentals of technical analysis purely into that decision. So purely into that decision, I am going with and I think it is definitely indicated. I'm glad that you guys brought that up in the back. In terms of the expanding wedge, I am certainly now going with the stronger pattern, the larger pattern, guys, the more larger macro pattern here, being this run up, and just in terms of magnitude alone, being this run up and this falling wedge, guys, this continuation pattern. It is so clean, it is so large, it is just something that is it's just unmistakable. So I've been big on that wedge. It has continued thus far. We have not really stopped or paused that much. It's been something to definitely be excited that you've been a part of, guys, with all of your friends, with all of your family, people who know you trade crypto. This is the momentum that we want to continue to see. We are so excited about this. Now, in terms of like the next move, people want to know what the next move is. I gave you the green yesterday, right? That was really important. People, who listened made a lot of money, guys. I'm not just saying that. They made a lot of money. So I'm excited about that. I don't want you to rely on things as financial advice, guys. I don't want you to look at a position I have or anyone else has and want to replicate that particularly. But I know you're here and you guys spend a lot of time with technicals on your own. In terms of kind of the next move, in terms of where we're at right now, you may take a threshold approach. You may be considering going larger. A lot of people are considering right now. I had a discussion with someone there, like a professional around here, that was saying, are you seeing people buy multiple Bitcoins? I want to let you guys know, yes, I am seeing people buy multiple Bitcoins right now. That is just a fact, okay? Buying multiple Bitcoins when? Buying multiple Bitcoins in this area when I stated right now is a good time to buy Bitcoin. So in terms of the profit, in terms of where we're at right now, you need to include the fact that you never want to I'd say try and replicate the discussion I had. It's important for our purposes. Just as you never want to chase a high, guys, you never want to replicate a position that someone took, let's say back in this area when I was definitely saying, publicly to you guys, it's a good time to buy Bitcoin. Still in this area saying good time to buy Bitcoin. Is it a good time to buy Bitcoin now? I bring that up because in terms of how heavy people want to go in terms of how heavily people want to go in, and you may think, well, London is just couching the entirety of the argument. No, I'd like to reframe certain things in terms of how heavily people are looking at going. You looking at entering into positions, particularly as you're looking at getting heavily involved in coins that provide leverage, not even necessarily leverage, an option feature to the coin, which isn't an option. It's not necessarily going to expire potentially like an option. It does have the leverage factor built into it on the back end to provide you a multiplicity of returns. You may look at the upside and the downside. If you look at the downside and some of those that aren't performing, you'll clearly see on the bear coins. But guys, in the back, we're definitely covering those. But guys, 50% achievable on some of those coins in the last 48 hours. Very, very nice. They're not guys. They're not standard coins. They're just not standard coins. But well, actually, they are standard coins. But they perform phenomenally well. So we've seen the ETH bull go excellently well. You guys follow that link in the top left if you're interested in getting involved in our group and trading on Gate. We'll just stop there for now in terms of Gate. In terms of the price action, why don't we get into some lower time frames? Why don't we do some lower time frames? Because people want the answer between today and tomorrow. Maybe they don't want to work on their trading. Maybe I don't know what they want to do. But at this point, we're just excited that each stream has been rock solid. You guys know that every stream here has been rock solid, and I mean you literally could have up to this point you could have taken it to the bank. Period. Okay, because well, it's interesting. We do have former we have former investment bankers, so I guess that's maybe funny, but yeah, I guess you could have. Maybe that makes sense. I mean, some of you have worked at banks, you've worked with investment portfolio managers, you worked with. I guess this makes sense, right? It sounds exciting though. It is exciting. I want to just point out kind of a. We talked about kind of a constricting wedge. I'm going to give Jay Swiley some credit from former BlackRock and former JP Morgan. I'm going to talk about a channel formation. That's what I want to talk about right now. That's credit to Jay because he brought that up. I have given him some shout outs throughout the time period, and he's just a pleasure to have around. We love having him around. He's a cool guy, very, very cool guy. We wish the best for your family, brother. Praying. Hope everything's good. So in terms of this, we can do a million different things to this. We can constrict it. We can follow in line here. We can do everything in the world. What I would look at right now, guys, if I were really looking at a trading strategy, because I want to say, hey, a trading strategy, maybe a training strategy for all of us. Jay could probably train all of us. He's been through a lot of training, I would imagine, with BlackRock and JP Morgan. Like, too much. Yeah, absolutely. That's the corporate world, huh? That's the way it works. So in terms of this, guys, I would just look at a channel formation right now. If you want an exact nature of a break to the upside, what I would look at now is I would do kind of a measured move, a rough guesstimate of a measured move. That's what I would want to look at. And what do we have here? Steve, nice to see you. Mars, nice to see you as normal, guys. We've been killing it. If you guys just tuned in, yesterday gave the green light signal, right? And because it's one thing, right? Everything looked like it was kind of caving, etc. You have to understand, it was like, I brought up chop. It's in the chop zone. It was like Fibonacci just hit. I did say the Fibonacci hit exceptionally well at that 50% in line there. I did mention that and said, we're still in the green zone, right? Absolutely. So that was a nice hit after that, guys. Just I love bringing you guys solid content when things work out. I know you do too. I know you value the teamwork that we have. It's not just a standard team. It's just, guys, we're trying to be the best every day, not just in general and saying that, guys. We're trying to be the best and knock it out of the ballpark every day. Sometimes it requires patience. I don't like to spread out our team too much. We do have a lot, though. I've been covering the different coins that we hold in the back, guys, and showing you guys this is what everyone's buying or trading or holding. There's a lot, guys, it's across the board. We have over 20 countries that are members and traders here. So we have everything, guys, in terms of holdings, etc. That data helps them. When you guys trade on Gate, I get that data. I'm able to bring you guys better data in the back, better charts, better things like that. I can even start to delegate that to individuals outside that can kind of help us, like professionals that can distribute charts to us, guys, if I have that information. So in terms of that, it's just crucial that you guys trade on that. It's not it's not asking much at all because it's such a phenomenal exchange. I love trading on Gate. The technicals are really, really strong, guys, really strong. You guys know how technical I am. I would not be on Gate if that were not the case. So let's just look at this. We just have a channel kind of formation here. What I would like to see now, because I would just say this, I'm going to bring up, always I'm going to bring up pricing targets because I want you guys to trade. Believe it or not, I like it when you guys trade. I just enjoy it when you guys kill trades. I like it, guys. You're going to be able to make more money when you understand the value of buying something lower. And I'll tell you, when you buy something lower, guys, not only are you going to make more money, but you're going to develop a real strategy. Like when you realize that, when you actually do that, when you target down at a level, right? And that's the part you need to understand is buying low requires you to have that entry level. When you do that, you're going to develop differently as a trader. You're going to evolve as a trader, and the more that you can consistently do that, The problem you're going to have is having too much cash, right? Even if you're playing with smaller moves, you're going to find out that your returns, guys, are going to start compounding. You're gonna develop as a trader quite well. So in terms of this, guys, I'm going to use this box formation here again, just real quickly. And I did just do the faux pas of the evening, right? We want to go from the high down to the previous low. We're going to go do it to the, if I ever make a mistake, we try and catch it on the fly. We got 3 or 4 things going on here at once. Okay, we're going to do this to the previous breakout zone. Okay, I'm going to define this prior channel in here. Okay, this prior channel as being something that was broken out of. Okay, something that was broken out of, providing us with certain Fibonacci levels, target levels that you guys can schedule into. I don't want to be a fan of right now. I'm going to tell you guys, I don't want to be a fan of just giving someone advice. And understand from my standpoint, people just asking me, well, should I buy multiple Bitcoins right now? I don't know. I told him exactly, you know what? You ought to join our group. That's what you ought to do. You ought to join our group because guys are very invested in terms of time and money and energy in our group. Shout out to Angel, huge supporter, over 10,000 guys. You understand that, right? We have individuals hugely invested in our group, and the people that I talk to like that are people who have invested in our group, who have invested in the community and continue to invest in the community. So those are important decisions that are made not just off the cuff. Go ahead and buy. No, I'll tell you we're in a green zone. I'll tell you this and that. But in terms of making large decisions like that, multiple hundreds of thousands of dollars or millions of dollars decisions, that's not just off the cuff with me. I reserve that, this the most solid level of intelligence, market intelligence that I can for the back rooms, for the groups, to the maximum extent humanly possible, guys. So you're going to note as we do this, guys, a little bit of variation here. You're going to want to, everyone's going to want to bend this down just a touch. I'm going to kind of resist that a little bit right now. I don't think it's too beneficial while we're in such a bull mode. I'm going to say I'm just not going to constrict the price. It's just, it hasn't been advantageous. Yesterday I said we're in a green zone and bam, we're up to the upside again. So there's probably going to be, I'd say the problem with this as well is we constrict into a price that's expanding like this. You're going to find different time frames where you're going to be a little frustrated, right? You're going to find some time frames, well, it broke out of the wedge here, it didn't break out of the wedge here. While you're operating on the top side of the wedge, it's just more instrumental for you to go ahead and pick some Fibonacci's. Go ahead, draw some Fibonacci's. If you want to become more aggressive with them, draw them higher. That's the answer to this. If you want to become more aggressive with your Fibonacci's, just draw them up a little bit higher. If you want to become real aggressive with your Fibonacci's, guys, draw them on the top line, okay? Draw them literally on the top level here. Dig into the smaller time frames and start, you want to buy, people who want to know, well, should I put a big position in? Well, why don't you put a big position in and come on in here and trade with us, right? Well, we love trading, right? We're down into, this 20, about a 25% level in terms of the Fibonacci's here, right? We have had a huge day. Let's go ahead and measure up in terms of what the day presented. I'll say from this level up, guys, oh my goodness, what is that? Is that 8? I'm so sorry. What is that? 8%. That's a decent move, huh? That's a decent move. That's a gangbuster day, guys. That's a gangbuster day for me when I'm able to say, yeah, I went on and went ahead and said we're green, right? That's a big deal. Now you want to say, well, are we not green now? Well, today I'm saying something a little different. Yesterday I said that, and we had one of the best days for Bitcoin in a long time, guys. Those days are continuing, but that kind of a day amidst kind of the notion, I just say the notion that we were in kind of a sideways consolidation, which, according to kind of the, let's go kind of do a depth parameter here. In terms of, let's say, just the overall depth, let's look at the overall, I'd say we can say depth. Let's look at the overall, what we say, tolerance. Let's say the tolerance, the threshold or the tolerance here in terms of what we just experienced at the top here. Let's replicate it from the previous zone here. Let's go ahead and do this, and let's copy this over. Let's use our technical analysis skills here. Okay, let's go ahead and do that. If I wanted to really clearly demonstrate this to you guys, we'd probably do something along the lines of this. Let me see if I can find us the right tool. This is right in this area. We could probably define something along the lines of this. Let me make sure that this is going to match up just about perfectly. I want to make sure that I can demonstrate this to you well in terms of what has happened. If we can forecast into what may occur next, I think that would be very, very good for us. But I want to use the technicals to get there. I don't want it to be a simple solution where this turns into a buy now, sell now, because you'll get overextended on things. You won't catch all the information that, well, you didn't catch. I said this or this or this, and then you'll wind up getting really far out there on a position when you haven't learned, all the essentials to catch yourself. So this is the due diligence I do in the background to make sure you guys aren't just buy, right? Or sell based upon one indicator, based upon one tweet, based upon one thing. No, I need you guys technically oriented. I gotta have you guys, all of you need to be of that caliber. I know that you are, but I just want to reinforce that to you. It's really important to me. So as we look at these, I'd say kind of these measured, I'd say kind of, it almost turns into channels, doesn't it? It almost turns into, I brought up chop yesterday, but it's just, it's just a consolidation. If we turn this into kind of a consolidative, phase here that we'd like to go through in Bitcoin, the more that we condense this, guys, that it'll be real obvious in these zones in and around here. We just like to get in these channel frustrations where it's just it's just giving time. It's really giving time and some movement, time movement, right? And so these become really instrumental, the time, and we kind of chop through here. This area in here was really difficult, right? That was just it was just unpleasant, right? After all the potential we saw early on with Bitcoin in this area here, guys, this was really exciting. This was exciting. Why? It took some time to get down, but it represented some great pricing, some great value. This was really frustrating. It represented some great value. So anytime that we go through that, we always understand that with time, we essentially are able to, most of the time, accomplish either a gain or with a cut, stop loss, we get some additional value. So we're always, always willing to wait, guys, with something that is volatile as Bitcoin. It's its greatest asset. The biggest critique is the greatest asset. Very interesting. Bitcoin decided to, Binance decided to pull out of South Korea. Did you guys hear that? Very interesting, huh? I'll never forget that, huh? Because I had brought that up to you yesterday. Very interesting. Before that occurred, what a strange coincidence. I meet some guy, a contractor or something like that from the State Department. Very interesting. He's talked to me about South Korea, something else. Then the news pops up. Very interesting. They pulled out of South Korea in terms of some of their offerings. I thought that was very interesting. As we look at a few of these, that's neither here nor there, nor advice or anything, guys. That's not even governmental or anything. That's nor am I. But I thought it was very strange. You have to understand, very strange. As we look at this, guys, I'm trying to capture in here this specific kind of chop zone here, right over this. Let's say this consolidation zone. The tolerance that we have for these consolidations before making a move up or down. I want to define something like this to begin doing analytics, or to essentially to express the analytics that will ultimately arrive at here, right? If we are going to essentially if we're going to add a parameter in here like this, if you guys can clearly see that parameter, I think that parameter is relatively well expressed from the initiation of this consolidation to about the threshold, from the initiation of this consolidation to about the threshold. It becomes very interesting. Doesn't that become very interesting to look at? Yeah, that's a very interesting diagnostics to kind of do on the fly and try and express some parameters that we're currently looking at. Now, whether it be positive or negative, we have at least gained some sort of a tolerance threshold for the consolidation. You guys know yesterday was a big day for us just in terms of profits and everything. I want to shout out, guys, to Freddie, new VIP. He changed an account from 8,000. I don't think you'll mind me saying from 8,000 into 13,000 literally overnight, guys. Now, I know people who've just started trading or just gotten into things, and they have spent months trying to get an account from 8,000 to 13,000. So that is a huge victory. I think he took his family out to dinner, did some great stuff, was very excited to see that. And let's see what we have here. What do we have? Just I'm very excited about the success of the group overall. As much as I talk about, I told you this, I told you that, guys, I am more excited when you guys do well. When you do well, you have no idea how much more excited I am when you guys do well than me sitting here on a soapbox saying, yes, I said this, I said that. I'm trying to incorporate you guys to listen more so you will do better. I know we work hard on the fundamentals of technical analysis. In the back, it's not just me. In the back, everybody's working. So when I say those things, I'm trying to create excitement so you guys listen more so you'll do better. And I'm trying to also, definitely always telling you the truth in terms of what we have said. I'm not promoting the channel necessarily. I'm promoting you doing well. So take it as a pep talk always. If you can, stomach that kind of a pep talk, it's not the quick, easy answer all the time. But that's the right way to do things. Nothing worthwhile is easy. Understand, including the market, guys. Nothing worthwhile is easy. Knowing when to buy, when to sell, it requires time. diligence, effort on your behalf to get involved and ingrained in the technicals. If you're not willing to spend that time now, you will not have spent the time to be able to capitalize on the lows, the highs, know when they are, guys, when to enter and to exit. You just won't be there. I tell you, you will not be there. You may have, well, the occasional, well, I just had a gut feeling, well, it worked out last time. Okay, well, last time isn't this time, guys. I meet people all the time that go on this last time thing with things like options, things like having a successful, entry or exit into, like, say, their first trade or their second trade, or I've been doing this for so long. Yeah, you get lazy. The market's going to teach you a lesson. I know that for a fact, guys. I see it with too many people, too many advanced traders, people who run option desks. I'm talking about option desks that I see personally just eat it. I mean, you literally go out in a large position, et cetera, with margin calls, et cetera, and they just eat it. And I'm just sitting there like, oh, good gosh. It's like, did you do the calculations? I'm not going to say that because I already asked them, did you do the calculations? They just get hammered. And I'm like, good gosh. I just don't like to see that happen, especially if they're my friends, right? And so I say, eat it like I've eaten on a trade, right? It happens, right? People who sometimes are in the worst positions, it builds some of the best character. We'll say we haven't had to experience that lately at all because we have been very accurate. So we appreciate you guys tuning in. So this channel formation, I have gone ahead and decided to kind of expand this a bit, okay? Give it a little bit of room on the upside. If we go to the daily chart, guys, the daily chart is going to demonstrate a few different parameters than the smaller time frames. I would just say a few different parameters. This fits relatively well within the top line here. There seems to be a little bit of we call them hitches quite frequently, but the variability within these lines, the more that you guys study your technicals, you will see that these kind of, I'm going to say, these rounded formations in here, these bends in along the price line, guys, that very frequently you'll see those match up with a line, okay? And it's going to on a different time frame. I want to let you guys know that it's going to on a different time frame. So as we express the channel formation in here, we can go back to Jay's, because I don't think he was here necessarily, or other people, but this line formation that I discussed early on, guys, and I'm going to do this exactly as I would do it in the back, just to show you guys the level of precision that I want to focus on here. But as we go from this specific, I want to go from a pinpoint time in here to a pinpoint time in here, and I want to extend this here. Okay, I want to talk about the potential for this to be viewed as an expanding wedge. I covered it earlier. Let's review. Why don't we review real quickly? For people who've just shown up, hit that like button. It'll help me know you just shown up. I appreciate you guys tuning in. It's very important for us to have you guys here. We told you yesterday it was a green. We were still in the green, correct? Yes. And we had a huge day for Bitcoin. We had 8% plus, guys. So yeah, we are in the business, right, in terms of communicating with you, not of providing financial advice. So don't get carried away with today's the time to buy or not. I'm going through the technical specifically today because I want you to understand the full picture. I want you to understand what we're up against. If this is just a buy and sell club, guys, we've got that's not what it is, guys. I want you to develop so that you're able to produce more for the group. The more that you can produce for the group and for yourself, etc., when you're off the clock, when you're out and about, when you're able to manage your own affairs very well, that is when the dynamics really occur in terms of a group, kind of what's synthesized, the value that's synthesized on the aggregate. So that's what I want to focus on a little bit today. That's what I've chosen to focus on, because we've been so accurate that I want to focus on that. I don't want this to be a tune in. I'm hitting the button for 50,000 or for 5 million or for whatever it is. Guys, I have plenty of people like that around here. I don't give them the information. All right, I reserve that. That's special like information. I like people to develop the skills on their own. It doesn't do much good in the long run. If they make a little money now, then they get busy with something else, and it doesn't do a lot of credit to us here in terms of the channel. We appreciate being a source of information for you in market intelligence, and we'll continue to do that as we look at this expanding wedge formation. It is technically a bearish pattern, right? It's technically a bearish pattern. Okay, I give credit out to Jay Suave, to our VIP member, former BlackRock, former JP Morgan. I give him a hard time about that all the time because he hid that from me for a while. I'm like, I know he's from somewhere. I know he's something. I don't know, maybe industry professionals pick up on it from each other, but I was like, there's something going on with him. Yeah, so I give him, and he didn't tell us in the beginning. I'm like, I knew it. and, I would have probably guessed the J.P. Morgan, the BlackRock. I don't know. They may train you a little bit better than that's a different discussion. As we look at the falling wedge, guys, as we look at the falling wedge here, we're gonna look at that. I'm going to choose this falling wedge over the expanding wedge due to the magnitude of the falling wedge. Okay, this falling wedge with a falling line of both resistance and support. Okay, the resistance and the support is such a macro phenomenon in the price. It can literally be like so clearly viewed on just a magnitude that is just, to me, that seals the deal in terms of looking at which is preferable, because we do have a contraindicated right now. Could the, I don't like to play hypotheticals that much. I do give that to you guys, not play the hypotheticals too much, just to replay a 2-second take and say, well, see, I said that. No, I mean, yesterday it was all green, right? We're going, it's green. That's what the entirety of it was about. And bam, like 7-8% on Bitcoin. Hello, nice day, nice call, nice profits. People up in profits on the BTC bull coin, guys, which we're trading on Gate, right? We're trading on Gate. We're discussing a lot of the parameters in the background as to how that makes more sense or less sense. Not financial advice, but guys, it's a 3x coin, right? That's what we're trading. So Bitcoin goes 8%, we go 25%, right? Your Cardano goes 15, we go 45. We have the parameters on trading those. We are very plugged into the price action. It's not an option. I want you guys to know that those bull coins are not options. In the back, what the coin does, in terms of the utility, in the back there are executed option contracts behind your coin position. All right, so that's what's phenomenal about it. You don't have the exposure in terms of the potential margin call or getting liquidated. You don't have that exposure. You have the value of a coin, which is based upon an option, right? So it does fluctuate down. It doesn't disappear. So I'm going to say, in terms of holding, there are risk parameters to it. You guys can look at those in the back. They've been phenomenally successful, guys. Phenomenally successful. You have when I talk about multiplying the returns of, say, 80%, we'll take 400%, right? That's what I'm talking about, are those coins in the back. And I decided to bring them to your attention because we had kind of a vote in the back. I want the VIPs to know we had a vote in the back of the DM, and they said, yeah, let's go ahead, thumbs up. Let's go ahead and talk about those coins because they're generating so much profit. Let's let other people know about them because we want that market to expand as well. We're not doing it to pump the market. The market doesn't need a pump at all, guys. In terms of those bull coins, it needs good investors. In terms of smart, diligent, strategic investors who know technicals. If you don't know technicals, don't get involved. I'm gonna tell you that, guys. If you don't know technical analysis, don't get involved, because you can get taken to the cleaners on something that's going to offer you a 400% return. Just think about it, guys. It's something that's offered that within a period of time of 30 days or something. Understand that, guys, that's as phenomenally sounding as it is perilous for people who don't know the technicals. If you do not know the technicals, just don't get involved. I won't say an expert trader at all, but if you're committed to the technicals, you can understand, the price action of, let's say, the entirety of Bitcoin, guys, it's going to be replicated with a Bitcoin bull, 3x coin. Now, you don't have to get into a perpetual contract. That's the deal. You don't have to buy into an option. That's the beauty of it. That's just what's phenomenally impressive about the coins, is that you don't have to do that, right? So I just hate when people, when you go for options, typically, guys, so that you understand, options, they'll try to capture, guys, or they'll try to gain, their win rate is probably somewhere around 40%. Hey, we won 40%. Guys, I don't want people around me that win 40% of their trades, because the problem is you may win, right? You may win 40%, but 1 out of 10 of those trades that you win, let's say out of 10 or 100, could absolutely cripple you, guys. I've just seen it time and time again. It's too attractive for people to get in. I saw people on AMC recently that just got, unbelievably 70K in 1 week or 2 days. Bam, it's beautiful. And then they lost that and some more the next week, right? And it was a situation where I knew, where I definitely knew that, let's see here, where I definitely knew that he was excited about his gains. He was phenomenally prepared to talk to me about how exciting it was. And what was the deal? What was the circumstance, guys? The circumstance was I said, well, yeah, my group is producing gains in excess of that. like to a multiple excess of that. So I appreciate, and I didn't know how to say it to him, but like I just didn't have really a whole lot of time to sit there and talk about it. Well, he's gone up 85%, he's gone up 125%. I'm like, that's good, man. That's excellent, sir. That, however I could put it, you've gone up 125%. That's really good. That's really good. I'm like, or he's gone up 50% in a coin in the last 3 months. I'm like, that's good. That's great. And he's like, well, what about this? And don't you? I'm like, you understand? Our guys just got that last night. Right, our team just got that last night on trades. We just got 50% last night, right? So and I don't mean it poorly or couched the wrong way, but we're focused. When I say I want it. My goal is to maximize your returns. I've been saying that for months, right? Yeah, I've been saying I want to maximize your returns, right? Yeah, well, this is the process that I'm going through with you guys to try and maximize those returns. If, such and such coin is up, we love a 2x, 5x, 10x, 100x. We love those, right? Yeah, 10,000%. SBS was an opportunity for that on the live market, right? On the live market, that was an SBS, a new coin that some opportunities like that we bring. Like, those happen, right? On the continual, if I can replicate, I'd say, or if we can replicate, which we can, the price action of Bitcoin, which recently has gone up, let's go ahead and measure out again. The measurement here, guys, that we're over 60%. I want to say well over 60%, guys, in the last number of days here. We're going to call it 25 days, call it 30 days, fine. In terms of that, if we can go 3x on that, guys, or achieve greater in terms of that without having to enter into an options contract, I will tell you guys that makes the other channels just look a little bit difficult, doesn't it? I'm going to tell you the other sources of information that want you to enter into an option contract, and you have to hold this is the problem. You may get to your target price. You may get to where you want to go, not before it slams down and takes away your option. You absolutely know that you can't move against you. This is the problem with options, guys. As you look at things in the price action here, you can't have that. You can't get into a nice option, a real well-constructed option, and go through this, and go through that moment there. You can't go through that, guys. Maybe with some calculations and plugins and some different harnessing of cash in the back, or multiple options you could show to people and say, look, this one worked out. No, we're not dealing with that. I don't want you guys to get washed out. If we can go up 60%, guys, if we can achieve, let's say 200% instead of that, that's what we want to do. And that's what, guys, it's just happened in the last 24 hours with people in the back, or else I wouldn't be discussing it to this level. I'm very excited about you guys being able to trade those coins and achieve those gains, to be able to increase your quality of life, to be able to spend more time with your family. A brand new Freddie, brand new VIP. He had $8,000 in he put $8,000 in his account, guys. He put $8,000 in, and he went ahead and traded. This was in the last 2 days, and he got $13,000 overnight, right, in the last 24, 36 hours. And he was just talking today. He's like, this has changed my life. This is great. He paid for VIP for 2 years. What's up? Yeah, and we have so many stories like that. We just do. People who join, they get in, and then just bam, like it works out well. So we're really excited for the people who are committed to this and who continue to, and I say by this, the market, committed to technicals, committed to learning, committed to trading, to taking the lumps if you need to along the way, but definitely getting up and just powerhousing through. And we're just excited about, the price action on Bitcoin over 60%, that we've been a part of it. When I say that, we were in the back end, that I called this small ascending triangle here, which you can't even see on this time frame. You really have to dig in. When I do that to show you the level of specificity that we have, and that is required, if you want to say, to really trade, right, to really dig into the entirety of what is required to really beat the market. Now, in terms of those coins, I just want to bring that up because, is it the easy way out? I'm not going to say there is an easy way out there. Guys, the easy way out is to work hard, is to focus on your technicals, to really understand what the possibilities are, what's required of you in the market. It's just it's crucial. As we look at this, I'm going to show you what I caught on the bottom here. Guys, this is exactly what I caught on the bottom, right? I'm just going to framework this in terms of this here. I'm going to framework this in terms of, we're going to have to go a little bit further down to it. This is an example. I literally caught the pattern just like this. I'm on the 5 minute. I have to scroll forever. A pattern this big on the 5 minutes on the bottom, just below 30. Brought it to the VIP and said, guys, check it out. I want you to check that out. You need to look at it right now. Truth. You guys know in the back. And it was like, we were like, huh? and we were ready. So we were ready at the right time. So guys, it requires that level of dedication. Now you don't have to be plugged in like that all the time. We can go with generalities. As you go to the bigger time frames, things matter a little bit less. If we go to the daily, we don't have to necessarily trade on the, on the daily. Yesterday was a beautiful day because that was my day with the message. We're in the green, right? Don't worry about it. We're in the green. Just, let's roll with it. And bam, we hit something to the upside, about 8%. On Bitcoin. So it was a phenomenal day, a lot of fun. We had a lot of fun. We're talking about the reinforcing nature today of the falling wedge. I think it's a beautiful, beautiful falling wedge. It's just, it's unprecedented in the history to this magnitude. A continuation pattern, which, has continued to the upside. You may want to know how high. I would ask that you review your extensions, guys, your extensions on the top side. We have gone through a few different of the extension calculations, but as we look at these, let's determine the next level up that we would need to get to. I think that's a great calculation to do right now. Let's do that. 64,863.10, right? And then we have the low, which is going to be about 20. Let's do 29,500. I think that's fine, just about for that low. So we have gotten up above, guys, this first level. The next level up is going to be indicated right about the 54,000. I'm just going to indicate that next level up at 54,000. I'm going to draw a few more of those, and we're going to be looking up. I'm just going to say we're going to be looking up in the market. That is our goal right now, is to be expressing the positive side of this in terms of looking up. What are our upside targets here? 54,000, 57,000, and 61,000. Those are my targets in terms of getting to them, kind of when we will get to them. Guys, I'm just going to say that those are my targets right now, period. How about that? You wanted, yesterday was green, we went green. Today, those are my targets, 54,000. 54,300. The next target, 57,000. The next one going to be in and around, I'd say about. We're gonna take this one off for now. I want to focus on these two level targets above right now, and I just want to focus on those as potential zones. And I'll do the exact calculation with the bottom line. I didn't do the exact calculation. I just know 29.5 sticks out as the area for that ascending triangle that I brought in the back. So as we look at that, that's just those are my two targets, guys. Right now, those are my two targets on the upside. Okay, in terms of getting them, I'm going to say there's going to be trades between here and there. Is it a guarantee that we are headed there? There is no guarantee. I told you I want you guys to focus on technicals, right? There is this a few different indicated things. Let me rewind a little bit and go over kind of the information that I presented at the very beginning, because we've been very accurate. I don't want you guys to enter into huge positions because you're obviating the need to trade, and I love trading that much. Honestly, I love trading. I love people who love to trade. Not that I love people, but I love it when people trade. Let me say that. I love people who like to trade. I like hanging out with them. That's the truth. It's like, you trade, we trade. Like, let's hang out. Those are some of my best friends, people who trade. So as we look at this, let's go back down to the hour. It sounded funny, though. I love people who trade, but I do. That's it's the same dynamic that we seem to participate with, in terms of kind of enough risk, but enough measured, I'd say, temperance, that we're able to get along. We have the same kind of, I'd say we have the same attitudes, same things like that kind of generate just positivity and kind of a measured discipline, right? Kind of a controlled level of discipline that we kind of look at. This on the hourly, we can kind of leave this open a little or drop this in, guys. It's just I'm just gonna feature kind of a channel formation here in terms of the channel that's expressed right now. And I did invite you guys. The number one thing I want to do, aside from those pricing targets, and I'm gonna just hammer this into you guys, is I want people to focus on, and look what you've done in the meantime, huh? Literally, huh? I know that literally right now, people that are listening to us right now have entered into orders on this Fibonacci since I've started in this group. I was thinking about today, literally we have put together, I'm going to say put together, some have trained each other, etc. Not just me. We have trained hundreds, if not thousands of people on Fibonacci's and price entry targets. Now, they don't need us particularly, but I do know, as a matter of fact, that people in this group have already entered into trades that they're trading right now. So in terms of that, I know that this hook right here is a factor of what we covered earlier on today. Now, would it have occurred anyway? Most likely so. I believe so. Was it going on to this extent? Not to this extent. So that's nice for me to see when we just draw something up. It's just confirming for you as well that whether or not you choose to do that, well, you just want a big position, right? We would just want to enter in because I've had people today that are asking me, should I buy several Bitcoin right now? And I'm like, why don't you join our group? I'm just like, and I got to tell you, at some point, should you buy several Bitcoin or should you buy Bitcoin Bull? It gets to the point like I'm not going to give you financial advice. It's almost like why don't you go talk to your broker? Because at some point it's like I can tell him to do that, but in terms of the gains that we're looking at maximizing over and above the standard feature Bitcoin. Now, yes, it's nice to have Bitcoin. It's nice to have that holding. Just tuck that in your cold storage, right, at the right price, etc. I'd say that just for security purposes. I've read a little bit about not recently, and I want to discuss this because I realized I hadn't discussed it with you. The safety, right? The safety and the security of holding your own coins off exchange, right? There is some degree of risk there, guys. So always consider that when you're looking at I'd say, at large holdings that are on exchanges, guys. I'm talking about large holdings like 7-figure plus, right? Particularly like a hit that would, kind of be a hit depending upon where you're at with the entirety of your portfolio, etc. That would just be definitely indicated in terms of like, a 7-figure, you would want to maybe rotate that. I'm not going to give you financial advice. I shouldn't do that. But in terms of cybersecurity, in terms of, I'd say crypto security, that's something you definitely want to look at. The larger your position is on an exchange, it's nice to hold that, right? It is, maybe even engage in for trade, etc., and hold and move. That would be what I would think would be smart, is hold that into cold storage, and then when you want to move in the market, you let it move and hold that back in cold storage, right? That would be, and make sure you're with something that supports that level of dynamic movement. I looked today. I think my limit on gate entry and exit withdrawal is 5 million. That's my own limit. That's my limit. So I believe that Gate accommodates that, and that's something that you can look at doing. As you look at moving back and forth and really providing some security for your investments. I look forward to you guys doing that. So, in terms of the approach right now, we have two things. We have a generalized channel. I'm just going to go with the generalized channel. I'm going to go with the opportunity to trade in this level. That's it, guys. I would stand by your own strategy that a triple down, cover your previous position or trade at each level. You do not want to get left out if you don't have a larger bracket. Let's go over the bracket, guys. That larger bracket approach, we've talked about it frequently, and I really like it, guys. Maybe a smaller bracket that is trading, right? A smaller bracket relative to a larger bracket that has made its way up the entirety of this move. We have been talking about for months. You guys know this. For months we have been talking about having these essentially larger amounts of cash. I have drawn out so many big blocks that have gone down along the ways that are applicable here, with always heavy cash reserve. Never being, I don't know anyone who institutionally frameworked or otherwise that's fully exposed in crypto, guys. With regulation on the map, with other things looking at, with the potential for just whatever kind of cataclysmic event could hit, like in March. You could say, well, it's great to be fully exposed to, I'm going to tell you this. It's great for an instance, like if March ever happens again, a deep dive down into the market. It's great to have serious cash reserves to be able to say, you know what, I'd like to buy like 10 times more right now. And the more you're able to do that, guys, the more profitable you're going to be. Even people who are just maximalists, I understand the concept. Definitely, I support Bitcoin and all of its features. I just do. We're very excited about the market. We're very excited about the technology and the store of value that it provides up and above a technology play, I'd say, like Ethereum. Ethereum is performing so well. It is performing so well. I have made money on trades. I have made money on, guys, I've done well on Ethereum. I want you to know that. In terms of the uniqueness, I'm going to say this, of Bitcoin, it just provides a lot in terms of the trading componentry of it, in terms of the infrastructure that's being laid down. Also, as well, I'll state definitely in terms of the technological infrastructure and the future that's being built for crypto. I just am wonderfully excited about it. I'm glad that we've gained this price traction here to the upside recently. So, guys, I think this is probably a pretty decent time to let you guys go trade. I'm going to say that because I did ask you in the back to please watch the entirety of this. So with that in mind, I'm going to let you guys go trade, because I think that's the most important thing, that we trade, that we get this under our belt. When you trade those micro time frames, guys, understand the purpose is to, a lot of times, yes, to profit, but also to work different patterns to see how they break. Okay, if you're trading the 10-second or the 1 minute, watch the pattern formation, how it breaks. Watch how the pricing patterns evolve. Watch what the positions you get into, how you have to measure your liquidity, how you have to look at the spread, the edge, etc. Look at those parameters, because when you start looking at things like this, you will have seen it 100 times. You will have already dealt with it. So I've traded 100 of those in the last week. I know exactly the possibilities. Now, those are things I can't necessarily explain to you, or if I do, you're not going to learn, guys. And that's the trick, guys. If you've traded 100 of these in the last month, I guarantee you know exactly the 3 different ways that this can work out on the macro, just like that. Without even, I mean, it's going to be so much easier for you if you guys are trading this on the lower time frames, guys. So dig in, go have fun, go trade. This is London. I've told you to go trade, go have some fun, okay? I may be back there with you in a little bit. This is London with the Crypto Kingdom, and yeah, you get it now. The Bitcoin